The busy lifestyle of modern people, going about their lives without knowing about the possible disorders that can impact their daily lives. How the color of their blood is becoming darker, bringing diseases associated with blocked blood vessels. Although it is as big as the causes of death, it is usual for the majority of people to disregard this threat in the course of their daily lives. These blood vessel diseases are the consequence of oily food, smoking, and bad living habits. These diseases are the consequence of societal wealth, convenience, and a variety of stress-related diseases. Well then, how does Korean traditional medicine perceive and treat blood vessel disorders? A Korean traditional medical clinic in Seoul. 28-year-old Mr. Sun is a hypolipemia patient. He has been receiving treatment in the hospital for 5 months. Hyperlipemia is a disease that occurs due to an excess amount of fats in the blood. In the case of Mr. Sun, his weight was way over the limit to the extent of being obese. This subsequently resulted in the accumulation of fats in the blood. Compared to his consumption level of fatty food, he rarely exercised enough. Nonetheless, he was fortunate enough to be able to treat his hyperlipemia as it was discovered during a general examination.
처음에는 몸이 많이 피곤하고 항상 몸이 무겁고 자고 일어나도 개운하지 않았는데 지금은 이제 치료 받고 나서는 무거운 게 많이 없어졌고 몸도 많이 자고 일어났을 때 개운하는 걸 좀 많이 느끼고요. 몸무게는 처음 치료받기 전에는 한 81kg였는데 지금은 72kg 정도로 치료받으면서 더불어서 많이 좀 빠진 걸 좀 많이 느꼈습니다.
Although hyperlipemia is classified as a major disease in adults, it is now quite common among the younger generation due to frequent consumption of highly nutritious and fatty foods. Having found hyperlipemia last June through an examination, he has been receiving herbal treatment for 5 months now. The most urgent problem, his weight, has been solved. He lost 9 kilograms on a special diet combined with exercise. The circulation of blood was planned out by controlling the vital energy flowing through the spleen via acupuncture. Generally, if the cholesterol in the blood is normal, it must be below 200 milligrams per deciliter. And if it is above 240 milligrams per deciliter, then the person is considered to be at risk for hyperlipemia. In the case of Mr. Sun, while the cholesterol in his blood level was quite high, it has dropped dramatically from 264 milligrams per deciliter to 218 milligrams per deciliter since his 5 months of treatment began. The blood vessel is the road that delivers all necessary blood and nutrients throughout the body. It is the road that sends the blood, rich in oxygen made by the heart, to our body, and then resends the blood that contains carbon dioxide back to the heart. Blood vessels are generally elastic. However, when the blood flows containing high levels of fats, waste products get accumulated together with fats on the walls of the blood vessels. They subsequently lose their elasticity and the ability to be adaptive. When waste products get accumulated in a blood vessel, its walls become thicker, and the vessel becomes narrower. Hyperlipemia increases the viscosity of blood, forming a blood clot. It then closes the blood vessel, bringing about major diseases. If this phenomenon occurs in the brain, it will create serious disorders such as cerebral infarction and cerebral hemorrhage. If this occurs in the coronary artery, it not only blocks the blood vessel, but also induces myocardial infarction. A blood vessel is often compared to a road. Just as a road gets blocked or splits when it collapses, or accidents occur, the blood vessel too gets degenerated or gets worse as a result of disease. Arteriosclerosis is the major disease of blood vessel disorder. It occurs as a result of various complications due to the aging of blood vessels, where the walls of the artery become thicker and harder, and blood circulation becomes difficult, or hemorrhaging occurs as the walls of the blood vessels break down due to declining function. Hyperlipemia is the most dangerous factor of arteriosclerosis. Once you have hyperlipemia or high blood pressure, the fat penetrates the wall of the blood vessels, forming atheroma, which contains heavy fats. Atheroma is a block of a bamboo shape that moves upward through the blood vessel, causing a disruption of the blood flow. Arteriosclerosis may occur anywhere in the body. Problems arise if it occurs in a main artery, the brain, the coronary artery, and the kidneys. According to a survey conducted by the National Statistical Office, the top 4 causes of death are cancer, cardiovascular and cerebrovascular disorders, and diabetes, where cancer and blood vessel disorders are the main causes of death. As diet is becoming more westernized in Korea, the level of cholesterol in the blood is on the rise each year. Compared to 154 milligrams per deciliter in the 1970s, it has increased to 199 milligrams per deciliter, reaching a dangerous point in the year 2000. Out of all adult diseases, the main causes of death among modern peoples are high blood pressure, diabetes, and arteriosclerosis. Together with hyperlipemia, they are like cogs in a wheel, interacting with one another and bringing about disastrous consequences. The common causes of these diseases are lack of exercise, abdominal obesity, stress, smoking, and genetic factors. For hyperlipemia and arteriosclerosis, the most important cause is dietary habit. Overconsumption of animal fats is especially related to these diseases. Not only this, the recent increase in popularity of fast food among young people is also inducing adult diseases and can also be the cause of hyperlipemia and arteriosclerosis. In fact, in our cholesterol, high-density lipoprotein is good when it is over 40 milligrams per deciliter, and low-density lipoprotein does harm in our body and must be maintained below 160 milligrams per deciliter. Apart from this, smoking and stress are other major causes of hyperlipemia and arteriosclerosis. Furthermore, from the medical journal Epidemiology, published by International Association of Management in March 2001, there was a report that working men under high stress are at even greater risk of contracting arteriosclerosis. From an actual experiment, we could see the contraction of a blood vessel as it was subjected to stress. In this case then, how does Korean traditional medicine go about treating hyperlipemia and arteriosclerosis? For hyperlipemia patients, there may be yellowish skin popping out on the center of the eyelid and a white hoop around the cornea. Also, suspect for the possibility of being attacked of this disease if there are yellow stripes on the palm or yellow rash on top of the hand or knee, and if warts appear on the elbow or the Achilles tendon.
한방에서는 그 고지혈증과 동맥경화를 내적인 요인과 외적인 요인으로 이렇게 바라보고 있는데, 내적인 요인은 우선 비장과 신장의 장애로 인해서 몸속에 노폐물이나 독소가 많이 쌓이는 것으로 보고 있고, 외적인 요인은 우리 생활에서 많이 받는 스트레스나 아니면 음식물 같은 데에서 영향을 받아서 나타나는 것을 보고 있습니다. 그런 독소들이 이제 발생된 것을 한방에서는 담음이나 어열로 이렇게 표현을 하고 있는데, 치료 방법도 담음이나 어열을 치료하는 것으로 그 증상을 개선한다거나 고지혈증으로 인해서 올라가 있는 혈청 지방 수치를 낮춰주는 것으로서 치료를 하고 있습니다.
From the past, Korean traditional medicine has regarded hyperlipemia and arteriosclerosis as diseases that occur due to overconsumption of nutrients, and carried out treatments to remove the poison in the body, believed to have been created by oily foods.
이게 이제 좀 스트레스를 나타내는 거고 가슴이 둥글프라는 거지.
43-year-old Mrs. Kim has sought out a traditional Korean medicine clinic due to frequent fatigue, headaches, and an outbreak of lumps all over her body. The lumping phenomenon got worse as her body heat dropped.
이게 심수. 아파요? 덜 아파?
The doctor is pressing her body to find out what part of the body is causing her problems.
몇번 며칠에?
In Mrs. Kim's case, there was serious fluid retention.
우통변으로?
This is one of the symptoms of hyperlipemia.
아픈 게 있어요?
That is, there is excessive poison accumulated in the body.
우리 한의학적으로 담음이라 그러면 우리 그 한의학의 수액대사라는 게 있습니다. 수액대사를 하면 원래 정이 있고 혈이 있고 음이 있어요. 음이 있는데 이 세 가지 어떤 수액대사가 원활하게 정상적으로 되지 않고 비정상적으로 됐을 때 나타나는 어떤 병리적인 산물이죠. 그걸 우리가 담음이라고 얘기를 하고 그 담음은 한의학에서 어떤 질병의 원인인과 동시에 어떤 증상으로서 작용을 할 수가 있는 거죠. 그게 한방으로서의 어떤 가장 특징적인 어떤 그 원인과 동시에 결과라고 할 수가 있죠.
Other than the apparent symptoms in the body, how does Korean traditional medicine examine for both hyperlipemia and arteriosclerosis? Examination starts by checking the pulse status using a pulse measurer, a very exact and scientific procedure. It is examined thoroughly in case a disorder in the organs is occurring because of stress, which can induce blood vessel disorders. The meridian is the pathway for vital energy and blood flow. Korean traditional medicine machine is used to examine its functions, which checks the resistance by sending a fixed amount of electric current here. When the flow of vital energy and blood is interrupted, poisons get accumulated in the body due to fluid retention and blood stagnation. Hence, this flow is an important factor in examining blood vessel disorders. The level of functional ability can be determined through this test. The pre-examen of arteriosclerosis is a machine that can detect its attack in advance before it is too late. The speed of blood flow is measured through the test. Hyperlipemia occurs where excess amount of fats have been accumulated and the blood vessels become contracted and blood tends to flow quickly in order to pass through the contracted blood vessel. Hence, through the speed of blood flow, we can determine whether the blood vessel has been contracted or not. The point which indicates a fast flow of the blood should be suspected for a possible disorder. It is apparent from our own eyes when the fat is accumulated in the blood. It may even be accumulated in the eyes and becomes apparent around the pupil. Through the iris test and by observing the pupil of the eye, the status of blood can be measured. While the pupil of the eye is clear for a normal healthy person, those with accumulated fats in the blood vessels show a white hoop outside of the pupil. The most important part of arteriosclerosis is the artery. This is because it is linked to the brain, and if blood vessels get blocked as a result of accumulated fats here, it may induce serious disorders, such as cerebral apoplexy. Through the ultrasonic wave machine, used in both Western medicine and Korean traditional medicine, the contraction status can be observed. Through the ultrasonic wave photo, the amount of accumulated fats and whether or not the artery is blocked or not can be seen at the same time. Treatment is divided into acupuncture and medication. Firstly, acupuncture is applied to the arm, leg, and around the head. Acupuncture applied to the leg stops the increase of vital energy in the liver and enhances the function of the heart and lungs. Acupuncture applied to the arm treats the frustrated heart due to fluid retention. On the head, including all bones on the vertex, acupuncture is applied to a few spots. This helps to clear the head and relieves the stiffness of the neck.
코로 아까처럼 숨을 크게 들이셔봐요. 내쉬고 됐어요 이제. 네. 크게 한번 들이셔보세요. 입으로 어깨 언제 어때 아까보다? 아파요? 네? 네. 머리가 많이 맑아졌어요.
Since Korean traditional medicine perceived that hypolipemia and arteriosclerosis occurred due to problems associated with the spleen and kidneys, treatment had focused on these organs. Herbal medicine was injected through the needle on the acupuncture point to bring about a dual effect of medicine and acupuncture. The Jishil and Kyunjong points are related to the kidneys, and by applying acupuncture to Kansu, which is relevant to the liver, improvements in kidney function can be achieved, as well as relief of pain to the shoulders and chest. Poncho Kangmok is a medical document that introduced efficient medicines for hyperlipemia and arteriosclerosis, which are still being prescribed. Korean traditional medicine believed that these disorders occur when the body is weak from the penetration of negative vital energy externally. Thus, medicine is used to supplement the internal weakness.
고지혈증이나 동맥경화는 둘 다 몸 안에 내부적으로 기운이 허한데 외부에서 과도한 음식물들이 섭취가 되어가지고 이것들이 몸 안에서 이상적으로 쌓여있는 경우에 생깁니다. 그렇기 때문에 내부의 허한 상태를 보호해줄 수 있는, 보호간신시킬 수 있는 약물들이나 그다음에 보호비위시킬 수 있는 약물들을 사용할 수 있고, 더불어서 밖으로 나타나는 증상을 그때그때 다스려줄 수 있는, 예를 들어서 음식을 조절하거나 어혈을 다스려주고 담음을 제거시켜줄 수 있는 약물요법을 사용할 수가 있습니다.
Kongjindan had been used as a restorative to prevent diseases by harmonizing vital energy and the blood. It was at one time the best Korean traditional medicine available and was mainly used in the royal palace. Kongjindan is made up of ginseng, Rhizoma pinelli, Nogyong, and a variety of other Korean medicinal herbs. While it is an efficient medicine as a supplement to vital energy, it has also proven to be effective for hyperlipemia.
최근의 연구에 의하면은 공진단은 그 동물 실험에 의해서 보면은 공진단이 생체에서 올라가 있는 혈청 지질을 한 30% 이상 낮추는 걸로 되어 있고, 옛 문헌에 기재되어 있는 홍국이라는 그런 약재는 외국에서 이루어진 임상 실험의 결과를 보면은 30%, 40% 정도 팔주인의 혈청 지질을 낮춰주는 그런 효과가 있는 걸로 밝혀졌습니다.
Recently, it is being proven that ginseng is effective in reducing the cholesterol in the blood. Hawthorn, too, is also considered to be effective for treating blood vessel disorders, as well as activating weak digestive systems. Medical developments are on the rise, as a mixture of ginseng and hawthorn relieve fluid retention and blood stagnation. Clean blood and blood vessels will lead you to longevity. Blood and blood vessels carry oxygen and nutrients throughout our body. 'Though, if they are accumulated with waste products, it is also possible to it would be like having rust on a tap pipe. However, rather than limiting the treatment to blood and blood vessels, Korean traditional medicine focuses on treating the internal organs. That is, healthy organs are the foundation in producing healthy blood, subsequently leaving clean blood vessels. Kimchi is Korea's most traditional fermented food. Well known for its unique taste, it is currently very popular around the world. What's more, it is also an efficient way to combat blood vessel diseases. Kimchi has a unique taste and color. It is made from various ingredients and seasonings. Garlic and ginger, which are well known to be effective in cleansing the blood and for blood circulation, must never be left out. They are also effective in controlling cholesterol and preventing arteriosclerosis. Red pepper, one of the major ingredients, has a great amount of vitamins and is also very effective in dissolving fats.
이들 향신료들은 한결같이 이제 서양 말로는 스테미나 음식이라고 그러고 우리 말로는 강정강장대라고 일컬는 거죠. 근데 이들을 먹으면 우리 몸이 더워져요. 더워진다는 이유는 뭐냐면은 체내의 그 지방 성분을 분해할 때 나오는 열을 얘기하는 거죠. 주로 때문에 이제 우리 식생활에 김치 생활에 익숙한 사람들은 고지혈증이라서 이제 심장병이라든지 그밖에 이제 얘기하는 혈액순환이라든지 이런 거를 조절하고 있다는데 아주 중요한 김치 과학이라 할 수 있죠.
Delicious kimchi, mixed with various seasonings, is high in vitamins but low in calories. The fiber of fresh vegetables helps in regeneration and enhances the excretion function, subsequently helping obesity patients. As well as having a variety of tastes, kimchi also has various effects. Depending on the ripening, the increase of bacteria stops the spread of bacteria, hence cleaning the internal organs. Furthermore, it decreases the level of unnecessary cholesterol. Thus, it is an effective adult disease treatment. Traditionally, kimchi had been stored underground. This was a good way to maintain its freshness throughout all 4 seasons. Blood vessel diseases are closely related to our dietary habits. Simply supplementing our diets with foods that have both the taste and nutrition we need can help free us from the fear of sickness. And the major food you should keep in mind is kimchi.